All right, we're back. Another season, pro football show, Chevy Silverado, Chicago. Couldn't be more excited to be back.
Yeah, Will, how are you feeling?
Boys, girl, this season is going to be awesome. But who is this jabroni?
That's the mystery guest. Different host every single week.
I love that idea. Let's go!
Welcome to the Pro Football Show presented by the Chevy Silverado, Week 8 of the NFL, and we are joined by somebody that Will Compton said is the ultimate locker room guy. That's how he described you to me today. Kyle Long, everybody.
Oh, I thought you were going to say me.
No.
Well, that's a good compliment.
I was like,
he said today, he was like, he's a football guy, he's a locker room guy.
Look how massive he is.
Kyle's a freak. I've actually...
That's a real pro football player.
Listen.
That's a real pro football player.
Kyle and I have known each other for over a decade now. He is, when people ask, and they get mad at me when I say this, but they ask, they're like, who is the most freak athletes in like all of sports? I'm like, give me a freak like Lane Johnson, Kyle Long, because if you're around these guys, you're like, how do they make them like this? Yes. How do they make them like this?
I gave him a hug and
I'm
something.
a lucky guy to be in the same sentence as Lane Johnson.
I mean, just freak athletes, yeah.
But thank you for being here. We're very excited.
Absolutely.
And
First of 4. He's going to be here 4 times.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes.
Great. I love the show, so an opportunity to come on is awesome. I can't miss this.
Jerry, are you excited to have him?
Very excited. He's a good friend of mine.
Is he?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
How long have you guys known each other?
About 7 months, 6
Yeah.
months.
Oh, okay. I thought he was going to say
We're
like
getting
this
serious.
morning.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
getting
about a
serious.
year. You guys could...
Well, last year we connected.
Yeah, he did a couple streams with us.
Yeah,
So,
about a year,
Okay.
I'd say.
yeah.
Did Jerry slide in your DMs at all?
I think it might have been the inverse of that.
Oh.
We were setting up some golf this
Yeah.
summer. It never
There you
happened,
go.
but we're buddies. That's neither here nor there.
Something light.
There you go.
Has he gotten the Steeler blood text yet?
No, not yet. Not yet.
He would have been a great steal.
Oh, God. I could.
That noise alone was just. That made Jerry very excited. Okay, so you know how this show works. You get to make the picks, and I will say that Taylor Lewan was sitting where you were last week. He went 2-10, so
Oh
you
my
got to do
God.
better than him.
It's a tough league. It's a tough league.
It's a tough league.
2-10.
Just, that's crazy.
But if you faded him, you're sitting
yeah,
nice.
exactly.
I had such a bad week gambling that I was afraid. Like, I didn't even ask Tom this week what I went, because I thought I was going to look at the sheet and be 2-10.
No, you went 6
6 and 7 is.
That's not
you
bad.
can live with 6 and 7 all day.
You went 7-6.
League's built for 500. That's where Dan and I are sitting right now.
And just a little bit of a spoiler, but the Survivor Pool is going to be an awesome segment.
Yes.
So if you're watching the show right now, stay tuned until the end as always, but definitely today because it's going to be very fun. So we're going to get into this, the storyline games of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. We're going to start with the Jags and the Steelers. The Jags are now favored by 3. Kyle, I'll just start with you. How are you feeling about the Steelers this year? Do you like the Jags? What do you expect to see?
Well, beginning of the year, Steelers are one of those teams where you say, on paper, these guys are supposed to be great. They've got a world beater at receiver who's a young guy. Jerry will tell you, throw him the ball as much as you can. Obviously having Najee and Kenny Pickett, but the Najee stuff was in question early. Matt Canada, everybody wants to ship him up the 3 Rivers ASAP. But you see them the last few weeks, and the Steelers look like the team that we were picking as a dark horse before the season. It's the defense. It's T.J. Watt playing complimentary football. I think it is going to be a tough one. You want me to pick this one right now?
Yeah.
Sure.
So I think it is going to be a tough one because you see Trevor Lawrence coming off a knee injury. And last week, he looked like a track star. Last week, he looked like a Olympian javelin thrower. The guy can throw it, he can run it, and they can run the ball. ETN running the ball extremely well, and the Steelers, ask Jerry, they kind of suck at stopping the run. If other teams just threw the ball every time, T.J. Watt would have 10 sacks a game, but they don't do that, Jerry. So I'm going to pick the Jaguars.
It's starting off bad.
But his points were valid.
I mean, he's professional. His points are all 100% accurate.
But you don't like the pick.
No, I don't agree with that.
Okay. Dan, do you agree?
2 things off of what Kyle said. 1, George Pickens. It's George Pickens, but it's actually more Deontay Johnson. What he does when he's back in that offense unlocks George Pickens. You saw it in the second half against the Rams. Like, he's the one who Kenny, like, all the underneath stuff, slants, everything, Kenny can go there, and Pickens is now able to get, play one-on-one on the outside, and that makes their offense go. So I'm actually a little more bullish on Matt Canada now that Deontay Johnson is back.
I could see it. I could totally see it.
Yeah, because like it is. Like if you have 2 good receivers and one of them goes out, the other one gets all the attention. It becomes harder for the quarterback, becomes harder for the entire offense to move the ball. Now that Deontay is back, everything kind of works better. And Jalen Warren is better than Najee Harris, and they've kind of slowly figured that out. Question for the professionals in the room. The Jags have played a lot of games, so I think everyone had to play 5 games in October because of the setup. October 1 was a Sunday. They have a bye week next week. Is there anything to be said for playing good ball and knowing the bye week's coming up where you're like, all right, like we kind of already got our trips to Cancun planned, like a little bit, just a little bit?
Not really. I think, in my experience, everybody gets excited being like, okay, we just got to get this 5th win, and we're sailing free. Because here's what happens. If you lose going into the bye week, you're going to have to practice the next week. You know if you win going into the bye week, coach is going to be like, hey, we won 5 in a row. We're going to get the entire week off. So you're kind of motivated to get
And
that
also,
thing
without
going
even
by
thinking about what the coaches are going to say, it's your perception of how the season is as a player.
Got it.
Dictates your attitude a lot of days. So, like, if we can get a huge win before the bye week, great. But also, I'm like, can we just cancel the bye week? If we win, we can just keep playing.
Yeah.
Keep winning.
Oh,
and maybe when we lose, we take a
football
step
game.
We take the bye week.
I'm week off. Give me the whole week off.
No, that's
Not
a
this
football
week.
game.
No buys this week.
Yeah, there's no
though.
buys this
All
week. Yeah,
All ball, dude.
I was just thinking about it because I just didn't know from your guys' perspective, like, I would 100% treat the game before the bye week as like the last Friday of like the school year.
100%.
You know what I mean? Where I'm like, I'm not really gonna try.
I'm just
like,
laughing.
I've already got,
I'm laughing talking
One
about
foot out
we
the
were on,
door.
Yeah, right. I'm 1 foot out the door.
We were on PMT last week talking about how you'd be in the locker room.
Yeah.
That would be how you would be, bro.
Yeah, I asked Will last week, and
Where are we
Kyle,
going
you know me very well.
Like, BC, hey,
I
just,
said,
let's win this game this week.
I think I'd be a good locker room guy, but I would definitely be the guy who makes a joke when you're not supposed to make a joke, and everyone's like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, we've lost 5 games in a row. Why are you doing this?"
Yeah, that's.
And then, so then
That
always
would be
that
the
guy.
one where you're 500 going into like week 10, and you're like, and we're thinking about, hey, division's still in our reach, and he's like, guys, I've kind of already booked my New Year's.
yeah, like we suck. I don't know about you
I'm just
guys.
playing spoiler here. That's about it.
Just being realistic.
But I'm going with the Steelers in this
Okay.
game, and I'm doing it just because Mike Tomlin is a home underdog, and that is a spot that I will always back him. He's just money in that spot. I do like the Jags. I think the Jags are, if I had to rank my 3 best AFC teams, it's Chiefs, Ravens, Jags right now. But I'm going with the Steelers just because of this spot.
Will?
I like the Jags. I like both. By the way, big win last week
Big
against
win.
the Rams
Big win.
in
Both
LA.
the Jags, though.
I think the
Good.
Remember who
Steelers.
did the Steelers?
I think the Steelers are getting more of an identity, but I also think that the offense of the Jaguars, like to Kyle's point, the way ETN's running the ball, Steelers give up 4.9 a carry, which is 26th. I think that the Jaguars having a top 5 offense, they're 3-0 on the road. I think they beat the Steelers at Pittsburgh.
That's 2 runs for a first down.
2 runs
4.5
for first
yards
down.
a carry.
And
That sucks.
that's just talking about the run game. Like, we're not talking about,
Yeah.
again, Ingram, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk. Who's
Calvin Ridley might be iced out.
right, because Christian Kirk is playing so well, too. But, yeah, they just have an insane offense.
Jerry, how are you feeling about
No,
this
listen,
game?
it's going to be a great game. Great game.
The
Big.
Steelers are playing good ball.
No, they're playing really good football. They start really slow, which worries me, but I feel like, Kenny Pickett figures out a way, 4th quarter. I think he has the best quarterback rating, best completion percentage in the 4th quarter this year out of any quarterback. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be a
It's probably not.
No, that's pretty good.
Maybe he does, because he is a very money.
not a garbage
Remember the
time.
top 5 defense?
No.
I know,
Yeah.
but sometimes
he
sometimes he does these stats, and then we look him up, and he's right.
Yeah, no, that's
This is a lot of shit.
Not always.
Not all of them, but
of them.
He throws in an extra category, which
yes.
is like,
Well, no, here's what Jerry, at some point that was definitely a true stat. The question is it still a true stat? Because Jerry will find a stat,
one of
and he'll hold on to that
wants it for
stat,
just
The way he
one-
not
said it
realizing
tells
that
you no.
games
All right.
change how the
All right, hand
stats
up,
look.
Hand up. Last week, both of them are true. This week, it changed over, so he leads the league 4th quarter in completion percentage.
Okay, so yeah, I know you
Okay.
so well that I knew that like
So
the
he's
games do change the stats.
Yeah.
So
Then
that
you
stat
just
was true
pretend
2
it's
weeks
a
ago.
fourth
Yeah, it was.
4th quarter completion percentage.
But
My
they were
wife would
beating the
say,
Rams, so they're probably running
when there's a
the football
2-minute
anyway.
drive, and my wife's like, "Why don't they just do that the whole game?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "That's a very good point."
You know what?
Dave."
It's a
Dude,
very
I've
fair
said,
question.
I've said all along, if your offense isn't that great, run the 15-play script and then just run it in reverse. Go 1 through 15, then 15 through 1.
Snake order.
Why not? Why not? You know the
Run the
plays.
2-minute offense the
Yeah.
whole game, just back
Yeah.
and forth. Okay, so Jerry, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm Steelers, but this is why I feel like this is a game where Kenny Pickett, I'm not going to say he's going to go out there and throw for 300 yards. He's not going to do that. But I feel like this is a game where people are going to see the Steelers win and go, wow, Kenny Pickett. He's not up there, but he's gaining ground on those top quarterbacks. So
Sending.
I think this is a breakout game for him and the Steelers.
Okay.
He's not up there.
No, he's getting close though. Because if he has this on the resume, he would beat. Okay, he beat Lamar Jackson. Okay, yeah, he beat Deshaun Watson. Oh wow, now he beat Trevor Lawrence. Now we're starting to.
There would be no question mark at the quarterback position in Pittsburgh, which is something that people have had up in the air all year.
Yes, of course.
Not for him, though.
Yeah, never him.
That's your guy. Okay, let's go to the Rams at the Cowboys. The Cowboys favored by 6.5. I will start with you. The Rams lose to the Steelers last week. The Cowboys were on a bye. We're still trying to figure out exactly what Dallas looks like. Are you buying them against the Rams this week?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I'll help you.
It's my I don't know game of the week. I need a stat. Here's
I don't have a stat. I have a theory.
Okay.
And I'm using my one switch pick of the week, where since we do all these shows all week, I made this pick in Advisors, and I've thought about it more, and I'm going to try to. I don't know if I'm allowed to reverse it in Advisors, but I'm going to reverse it right here. Is there a chance the Rams stink? So let me just follow along. We went into the season being like the Rams are going to stink, right? Then they completely snuck the Seahawks in week 1. And we're like, oh, shit.
In a real way, too.
In a real way. But you guys know week 1 is always kind of the weirdest week. You never really, what was that? There was like a couple years ago where the Titans lost by $1 billion week 1. And they ended up being a good team.
That was the
Cardinals. Yeah, right. Cardinals. That was Taylor. Yeah. We don't have to bring that up, but that was Taylor.
R.I.P.
All right, so they beat the Seahawks week 1.
That's tough.
They beat the Seahawks week 1. Who I think are a very good team, but week 1, I'm throwing that out. They beat the Colts in overtime. The Colts they're a scrappy team, but no one's going to say the Colts are a good team, right? Then they beat the Cardinals, maybe the worst team, in week 6. The games they've lost to are the Niners, Bengals, Eagles, Steelers. So the question to you guys, and it's pretty simple to me, are the Cowboys in the Niners, Bengals, Eagles, Steelers class, or are they in the Colts, Cardinals class? And I think they're closer to the Niners, Bengals, Eagles, Steelers class, and I think that's why the Cowboys will kill them.
Hey, that.
Yeah.
You do it?
He's a professional.
Here's the thing. Here's what happens.
You're not. He is. I'm just saying.
Shots fired.
He's a professional.
Shots fired.
Nothing against the Jaguars pick. I'm just saying.
Here's the thing: is we get to week 8, and the early September games kind of still stick in your mind, and you have to be able to shift off of what you thought. And I think we all kind of collectively were like, "Ooh, Puka Nacua, like the Rams are better than we thought. They're scrappy." No, the Rams might stink. The Rams might stink.
They might, but they're 2-0 on the road.
Okay. Against the Cardinals. Oh, yeah, and the Seahawks. Or no, the Colts and the Seahawks. Okay.
2-0 after a loss.
Okay.
If we think the Steelers...
They're not 2-0 on the road. Fact check that.
They're not?
Wrong. They lost to the Bengals on Monday Night Football on the road.
Did they cover? Maybe
it's 2-0. They pushed.
Guys, here's the deal.
Tell him, Kyle.
The Dallas Cowboys are playing in a noon, 1 o'clock window.
Yep.
Which never happens.
Yep.
If I'm a Dallas Cowboy, I've been waking up at 11 o'clock in the morning for all my games
body clock.
for the last, 8 years or whatever. Tyron Smith might still be asleep for kickoff. But what I'm saying is this. The Cowboys don't lose at home. Doesn't matter what time they're playing. Doesn't matter what time they're playing. Dak Prescott at home, he's going to be great. I hated the way he looked a few weeks ago, and then he goes out and completely proves me wrong the game after that. I love the Cowboys. I love this.
Against the Chargers.
The Chargers. It was Monday Night Football.
I love this secondary for the Cowboys. I think they're going to make this a really tough sledding type game for Matt Stafford and these receivers who they've had to lean on heavily the entire season. I think the Cowboys get it done. Easy, they cover.
Okay.
They played Daniel Jones, that pass defense. They played Zach Wilson before, now that they're rolling. Mac Jones. And then, yes, they did have a good win against the Chargers, but their defense is abysmal. I think the Rams are frisky enough. They don't do well with pressure. Micah Parsons, he's a stud, but I think they'll do a good job now with Cooper Kupp. Puka Nacua, Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's built a good resume. Quick throws. I think it's a lot of points, 6.5. I'm taking the Rams.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy. 1 week, 2 weeks is like, oh, this guy's pretty good. He's shown up. And then now we're in week 8. What are we, week 8? And Puka Nacua is still.
He's got over 50 catches.
It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, almost into November. Okay,
hire that scout for the Bears.
Yeah. Right. Well, it's also coaching. I mean, Sean McVay knows how to coach. Like
he does.
You put any guy in his offense, and they're probably going to have
and
a really good year. Yeah, which he did say that he wouldn't coach if he came on a Sunday, and the baby hasn't come yet.
I think they did.
He just said the baby knows.
He just had it.
Yeah.
Breaking
the baby
news.
knows not to come on Sunday.
They all came a long time ago.
Yeah. Okay.
The babies, they just know, right? See what you did there. Okay, let's get to the game of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. It's the Bengals and the 49ers, but first we are going to get to Lucas Edits presented by Jersey Jerry. Let's roll it.
Jersey Jerry here. This is Jerry Edits presented by Lucas. Oh, no. All right, Jersey Jerry here. This is Lucas Edits presented by Jersey Jerry. This is the game of the week. Cincinnati Bengals versus the San Francisco 49ers. We got a huge matchup. This is the first ever live broadcast. Here we go. Brock Purdy's not playing, so let's start there. Brock Purdy worth at least probably about 4 points.
Devo not playing.
Fred Warner, Joe Burrow, first and goal, first quarter, 38 seconds left. Touchdown T. Higgins, Joey checkdowns, 7-0 Bengals. Purdy back to pass, hits Deebo Samuel on an out route. He's short. That's Deebo. Second and goal, second quarter, time running out. McCaffrey, touchdown, automatic, just like always. 7-7, third quarter, 5 minutes left. Joe Burrow back to pass. Again, same play, T. Higgins, touchdown. The same exact play you've seen in the first quarter. Joey check down again. Purdy back to pass. Deep shot, George Kittle over the middle, touchdown, 14-14. Tie ball game going into the fourth quarter. We're in the fourth quarter now. McPherson. It's good, 17-14. 4 seconds left, fourth quarter. Purdy back to pass. Purdy! And it's way short. Bengals hang on, 17-14, final score. Thanks for coming, Jerry Edits. Lucas Edits, presented by Jersey Jerry Edits, first ever.
Whoa.
Hey, easy.
I like that one, but I saw a little Kenny Pickett holding the Lombardi at the end.
I didn't say that.
It's just there. It's just a subliminal messaging.
I like
So
that.
was that your play-by-play like audition for that?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Purdy.
Okay.
Switch it up a little bit.
But what we didn't know before you did that is that Debo's not playing.
Yeah, I didn't know
And
that.
Purdy.
Yeah. So
Well, I guess Purdy is in the concussion
No, he's done.
protocol.
He can't play.
Oh, he can't.
I bet you had Trent Williams out there too.
Why can't he play?
Well, because have you seen the NFL what they do this year? If a guy's in concussion protocol, they don't play that game.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I think it's like.
Never told me the rules.
Yeah, I thought as long as you pass him.
No, I think that's real.
You good? Get on out there. Lace them up.
Want to run duo?
Will, who are you taking in this game? The 49ers are favored by 3.5.
Niners. I don't think it matters if. I mean, it does matter if Brock Purdy's out there or not. It seems like he's out indefinitely. But Sam Darnold, I think. I like the Niners. It's like how can the Bengals beat the Niners? They don't run the ball well. They're not gonna be successful against that defense. Joey B would have to beat them through the air, and the Niners, I think, the way they are with time of possession, running the ball, schematics, and everything else, they'll have to lean on the run game, which I think will control the clock and keep the ball out of Joe B's hands. I think the Niners cover.
Dan?
Okay, you're wrong for 2 reasons.
Okay.
I don't know. Christian McCaffrey's hurt.
He's a dog, though.
He's not human though.
He's a dog.
Yeah, like he had an oblique injury.
But he doesn't.
I'll be out there.
He doesn't look like
Even
he's
the Terminator
100%.
had like metal in his face.
Yeah, but he doesn't look 100%. And then the number 2 thing is the Vikings. That Monday Night Football game, obviously Brock Purdy had a couple picks and they weren't good. I thought the Niners. Post-concussion. I thought the Niners defense was the bigger concern. The Vikings moved the ball up and down the field on them. The Niners defense is supposed to be an elite defense, and that was easy work for Kirk Cousins. I think the Niners have some problems on defense, and you get the Bengals off a bye. Joe Burrow is healthy. They also have the Bills next week. The Bengals are in must-win every single week because they put themselves in a hole. I'm going to take the Bengals plus 3.5.
Kyle?
Yeah, and I'm going to be going Bengals as well. I got to ride Bengals, and I take a look at the Niners game last week, and they faced a 5-man rush. And what they did was they see Trent Williams is out, and Trent Williams, as you and I both know, is a world beater at left tackle. And when Trent Williams is not in the game, this offensive line coach, this offensive coordinator is saying, we're going to have to block everybody one-on-one. We're going to have a 5-0 protection. So if I'm an O lineman and I hear 5-0, I know there's 5 O linemen, I know there's 5 D linemen. We got to go one-on-ones. That's what the Bengals are going to bring to the Niners today. I don't think that the Niners can hold up in pass protection if it becomes a shootout and they have to protect their quarterback. I got the Bengals winning, and I do think Joe Burrow's going to throw it all over the yard because we saw Osborne, we saw Addison, Hawkinson, taking the ball from Charvarius Ward.
Yep.
This is a physical group, and you know what? I just think that the Bengals get after it. They got too much skill on the edge.
And T. Higgins should be healthy. You know, he had his rib injury. I think the Niners, obviously the Niners are a very good team and they're going to be there in the end. But right now, especially, I think they have a bye week coming up. So It's get healthy, get Trent Williams
Trey
healthy,
Hendrickson,
get Debo healthy. Yeah, Trent Williams, I mean, he's right. Like, if Trent Williams doesn't play, it's the same. There's two guys, Trent Williams and Lane Johnson.
Right,
like, those two guys change how you can play offense when they're not on the field.
To do that, you have to assume that the Niners defense isn't going to bounce back. Like, they don't have the guys in the locker room to look at it and be objective about it and be like, hey, guys, we're better than this. Like, they had a tough call that's been talked about right before halftime where they end up scoring. You take that away, obviously, you know, you can play those gymnastics in your head. But I think, like, who they have in that locker room, I think this is like they've dropped 2. They understand what is at stake bouncing back, especially at home.
I think I'm just trying to dare the Bengals by picking them. I'm like, because, you know, the Niners, they're the class of the NFL. You look at their defense, you look at the weapons they have on offense, but it's almost like a 3D puzzle.
In the locker room.
Yes.
That's playing well.
Yes. Yeah.
And when you drop a bad game, you're thinking, like you were there when, weren't you with the Chiefs when they were, turnovers were kind of like the ball was bouncing the other way where Mahomes is doing his stuff out there.
Teams
Buddy's
were
throwing
back,
picks.
yeah,
and then you guys kind of had to bounce back the back half of the year. It's like when you have a good group of guys and good veteran leadership, like they'll find a way, and I feel like the Niners are that team.
They're going to have to.
Yeah, the Niners also, I think they've lost 2 in a row since Jerry said they're the greatest regular season team of all time.
They still might be.
All time.
Yeah, they still might be.
Yeah, I mean, they're loaded everywhere.
Okay.
And look, they lost to a good Vikings team.
They're loaded on
That
the
has nothing.
injury report.
That has nothing to do with you propping up the loss the Steelers had Week 1.
If Sam Darnold plays well, like really well, I mean, it would have to be really well. Does he come
It
back?
wouldn't have to be really well.
No. He's asking something else.
Different
question.
question.
I like this question.
Do Brock Purdy's parents not get shown on TV for the rest of the year if Sam Darnold goes out and plays well?
It's a good question.
I don't think
know.
it's like that, dude.
These are just questions.
It's a hypothetical. Just a hypothetical.
Like they traded Trey Lance
I know.
because Sam played so well in training camp that they felt good for him to be a competent enough backup. Like this is a time where he gets to go out there and prove it.
Okay.
Captain of the Jets, bro.
Yeah, here's where
talented.
I think it's not a crazy question from Kyle, just simply on like arm strength and what Sam Darnold was a first-round pick. Sam Darnold, all those measurables. Can he make a few more throws? I don't think Sam Darnold's a very good quarterback. Like, I don't think he's going to do this. But if he starts playing lights out, is Kyle Shanahan like, well, this guy can unleash us a little bit more?
Fun, bad opinion.
Yeah.
That could be on the horizon.
I
love those.
That's a good.
I don't think
We have a
Brock
whole
Purdy's-
segment dedicated to
Yeah, I
that.
don't think Brock Purdy's going to lose his job, but I also think, like, Sam Darnold probably, and this isn't a knock on Brock Purdy, probably has better arm strength than Brock Purdy.
The way you guys are talking about Sam, it's like, why are you guys going with the Bengals here?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good
That's a
point.
good
We
point.
talk.
That's a
We
good
talk.
point.
Sometimes what happens.
I'm not
is-
backing out of nothing.
Well, sometimes what happens on this
yourself in
show is we talk too long, and
DJ
then you're
Reader,
like, wait, what
Trey
did I do?
Hendrickson, great games for the Bengals front. They're going to win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when you talk so long that you like are thinking about your pick too much. Just stick with your.
Last week I did that with the Lions and the Ravens. I literally spent the entire week being like, the Ravens are really good. The Lions secondary's untested, and then on Sunday I bet on the Lions, and I was like, I literally gave all the information.
Roquan Smith will tell you what you need to know. He said this team hasn't been tested. I believed him.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Don't think, just pick, right? That's what you got to do. Let's go to the gotta have it pick of the week. Dan, the Bears and the Chargers. And last week you did say when Taylor was here, we were talking about Spooktober, that your Spooktober is every Sunday.
Watching the Bears, yeah.
And this is Halloween week too, so is it extra scary to watch the Bears on Sunday?
When we were watching the games last Sunday, because I just have so much shit in my brain right now and so many things going on. We were watching a Sunday night football game. I was walking by the TV and I saw them pop up, Bears, Chargers, and I let out an audible groan because I don't like when the Bears play on national television. It's not fun. It usually is not fun. Although, you went and beat the Chargers.
Oh, buddy.
I actually watched that game with your brother in St. Louis because we were doing bar rescue.
That was a
great week. That was a great week. I think that's the last time we played the Chargers on the West Coast.
What year was that?
National TV, though, against
2015.
Washington a
I was
couple
playing
weeks ago.
tackle. That's the only reason I remember
Yeah. No, I remember watching it with your brother, the Chargers have to have this game. So this is a gotta have it for the Chargers because their season is slipping very fast, and they are a disaster on defense. I saw some of the quotes after the game against the Chiefs. It was, let's say the locker room I don't think is great right now because you guys, I don't know if you guys saw this, but like some of the players were like, why the fuck did we sit in zone all day? Like that's what Travis Kelce beats.
That is not good.
They're like, why did we sit in zone? Like we played too much zone. Because you saw they switched to man in the second half and the Chiefs only scored 7 points. So the Chargers are a mess. I do think the Bears are going to cover, though. I think Tyson Bagent, like, he might not be the guy, but he's the guy right now.
He's a guy.
He's a guy, and he does something, no knock on Justin Fields, but he gets the ball out very fast. His dropbacks are quicker than Justin Fields, and I think that that's the recipe you need for not a great offensive line with the Bears.
So you always take the Bears because you have to,
I have
but
to
you
take the
actually
Bears.
do believe.
I do believe they're going to be. And also, last point, I think the Bears are going to cover because Brandon Staley lives to fuck up games. Like the Chargers live to win.
We're going to get a couple of freebies.
Yeah, right, exactly. They make mistakes, and then you look up and you're like, wait, it's a 3-point game. So I think the Bears are live in this game.
Kyle, how do you feel about the Bears?
Man, you know what? To Big Cat's point, I love the fact that Tyson Bagent gets the ball out. And as an offensive lineman, if you were to tell me we have an all-world quarterback, but he holds the ball for 4.5 seconds, and then we've got a guy who can make reads that throws it in 2.5, I'm going to say, give me the guy that throws it in 2.5 because I'm going to look better.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I always root for me. So.
Naturally. Why wouldn't you first, yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So the Bears, I mean, they've been playing above expectation on defense. I really like that they're a gritty group. They really are. Andrew Billings has stepped up big. I need to see more from Cole Kmet, although I love Cole Kmet and I love his game. I think that if he steps up and is there for Tyson Bagent, we could see something special here that when Justin steps back in with a healthy thumb, he could say, my God, they've done some work with the place.
Right. They cleaned it up a little bit.
Yeah, cleaned it up.
Yeah. So you going Bears?
I have to go Bears.
You have to. You have no choice.
This is in this history of this show. I've lost so many picks because I have to go Bears.
It's me on
every
CBS
single
every
week.
weekend.
Every single week.
But I mean, that's who you are. You can't
gotta
go
go
against
Bears,
the team.
yeah.
You can't go against the family.
Exactly.
Will, are you going with the Bears? You going with the boys?
I'm with the boys. I'm going to be on record saying this so Big Cat doesn't catch me in a spread thing. I'm taking them with the points, but I don't see why they can't win this game.
Yeah.
Legitimately. Like Tyson Bagent, like after he wins, like just the stuff. And you know what it's like when you're like a team that's bad and you get a game and some new guy just steps in there and everyone's excited. His dad's like a 20-something time arm wrestling world champion who's like bringing juice too. I just feel like people root for that. In the team, the locker room, the morale is just different because
You hear
there's
him
a
on the
little bit of
sideline,
excitement.
too.
Yes.
He knows this because there was a time in place in Chicago when Josh McCown, people wanted to give him like a $500 million contract.
Right.
Josh McCown would throw the ball to one guy, Alshon Jeffrey, and he would catch it every time.
Every radio show was like, you got to sign Josh
We
to a
beat the
long-term
Packers
deal.
at Lambeau on Brett Favre's retirement night with Josh
Thanksgiving.
McCown. It was the best night of my life.
Yes.
And that excitement, I just think like, and especially what you're saying about the Chargers, when players are talking like that in front of cameras about why are we sitting in this, why are we doing that, that's a very bad sign. I like the Bears. I like the Bears to win the game, but I'm taking them with the points. Just to be clear,
The boys are with the Bears.
I like the Bears.
You're with the Bears, Jerry?
Yeah, with the Bears.
Oh, that
I-
wasn't good.
That pause was a little too long.
Can you put a little into that?
I'm going to take the Chargers this week.
Okay,
you're not being
no,
coerced.
that's fine.
I just think they're- I just think
no,
they
I took the Steelers even though they stink.
Last week when we all went, hey, let's go
The thing
Steelers
is
with
this,
Jerry.
Chargers backs
It's
are
unbelievable.
Yeah.
They have to go out and play a perfect game, get Justin Herbert's confidence back up. They have to win this game. They have to win it in a fashion where it's a big, big blowout this game. So now people are saying, okay, Chargers are back. Chargers are back.
Wait, what? The Bears have their back against the wall?
Yeah.
Not really.
Bears
The
can
Bears,
actually,
the Bears can, Bears can still finish 11-5.
Bears going to flip this thing.
the way the
They
way the
can't
Lions
win
lost,
11-5.
like
No, they can. You're right. They can't. They can finish 12-5.
here's a
They added games.
to use BC's theory, it's like, yeah, their back's against the wall, but is their back against the wall? Like, they know that they have to win or everybody's basically going to get fired. It's like the Vikings, their back's been against the wall, but this is a team that's like a good team that can win. I don't think the Chargers.
Okay, I'll say this. Do you think if the Bears win this game, the Chargers will fire their coach?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Now, I don't like the guy, so now I might have to go with the Bears because I want to see this guy
I'm
get
shocked you
fired.
went against the boys.
There's no question that staff is on the hot seat. You can't have talent like that be the highest paid defense in the league and perform that
And he's
badly.
a defensive
and he's,
guy.
Yes, and he's a defensive guy.
Yeah.
And if Justin
He was
Herbert's
Khalil
going
Mack's guy in Chicago.
Yeah,
he was his outside
he
linebacker
was a
coach.
great
If there's
coach.
anybody who knows the group, it's the guy who had their captain in another place.
Yeah, he was part of the defensive staff in 2018 when the Bears had the best defense in the NFL. Like, he's a defensive guy. He's a Vic Fangio.
We also had the
guy.
best roster. Like, we were just better.
Yes, very good.
Offense, get an offensive guy that let's be a team that scores.
Are you
Staley's
switching
a good
your
guy.
pick?
I feel bad for that situation, but I also have a gotta have it pick.
Yes,
this week.
Kyle, what is your gotta have it pick?
It's got to be the New Orleans Saints going to play the Colts. Colts +1 against the Saints, 1 o'clock kickoff time. I have been so disappointed with the New Orleans Saints, and it almost when I came in the league, I got drafted by the former O-line coach from the Saints, and he said, when you come in, I got some film for you to look at. It was Jari Evans and Carl Nix, and those two guys were dominant offensive guards for the Saints. Their offense was predicated on running the football mid-zone and having heavy play action with Drew Brees throwing the ball down the field. It's an old school offense that worked at the time. Now you look at Derek Carr with all these weapons they have, and they're still trying to run the same shit. They're still trying to do 2006 NFL offense, when in reality, we have to see this thing change up. And obviously, Olave, Carr, they were beefing. Can't do that. You and I were talking about this. If the ball's that bad, you can't scream at your guy. You can maybe go, hey, but no, run. You can't do that. Bad ball.
And he got a DUI.
Yeah, that's bad ball on camera, doing the hands up.
Bad ball.
And he got a DUI.
Bad ball.
He did get a DUI.
Was that a DUI?
Oh, I
don't know
forgot
if it was
about that.
DUI. Maybe just speeding.
I think it was speeding.
Speeding. He said, I'm on the Saints.
Yeah,
and the guy
I-
said, and?
And
Yeah.
I want to say, no, but I want to say, in
was it
terms
just
of,
speeding?
you can't do the do you know who I am? That's the worst look in the world. I think like throwing a Hail Mary like, hey, dude, I play for the Saints.
Exactly.
That's okay.
It depends on the tone. Yeah, it depends on the tone.
And no matter
Like, listen, if I got caught speeding, I'd be like, you like Barstool?
I'm practicing. I'm practicing going full speed for my quarterback.
Yeah, it's just
throw it a little.
It is
Just
just
a little.
The Saints
Yes.
have too much talent to be where they're at, and they're facing a team where the identity has been a pretty, single. They have a single mission in mind. That's run the football. That's
Right.
the Colts. The Saints need to go out there and just say, we play a different style. This is a new style of offense. Throw the ball around, get Derek Carr comfortable, and have that receiving core getting the football more.
So they need to evolve, is basically what
They
you're
need
saying.
to evolve their
So are you
stuff.
taking the Saints, or are you saying they're in a gotta
I'm saying
have
they
it?
gotta have it, whatever that means.
So you taking them?
You can
I'm
get,
taking the Saints.
Okay, you're taking the Saints.
I was going to say,
They got to have it, and you're taking them.
the team can have it, but we're going the
If
other way.
Olave went to jail this week and I'm taking the Saints.
There you
Taking
go.
the Saints.
Well, he plays for the Saints. You know,
It's
he
a
wanted
wake-up
everybody to
call.
know. There you go.
Will he play? Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think
Gotta play.
He's gotta play.
I played with guys who've been
It's a
arrested.
speeding ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No
a-
Yeah,
doubt.
just
It's just a little blip on the radar.
Yeah.
Dan,
Monday was weird.
keep it
What'd you
moving.
do Monday? I don't know. I was in jail.
Dan, are you taking the Saints?
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm taking the Colts.
okay.
I'm taking the Colts for one reason. The Saints play a lot of man-to-man defense. Gardner Minshew is actually very good against man-to-man defense when he can just be like, first read, boom. They're not like you see him when he plays against the zone, he gets a little confused, holds the ball on too long. I think the Colts are live here. I like the Colts.
Will?
I like BC's pick.
Okay.
Clip resurfaced from Pardon My Take with Gardner on a long time ago, talking about how he took a hammer,
Yeah.
It's happening right now, BC.
Yeah.
Took a hammer, was trying to break his hand to get an extra year of eligibility. And off that clip alone, knowing that he is a starting quarterback for the Colts. He knows he has to make it shake. I like their run game, but I think Minshew madness, Minshew mayhem, whatever you want to
He's
call it.
fun.
He's
fun.
He's
He is
fun.
He's a guy that there's only a handful of guys that you're like, I'm going to root for him no matter who they're playing,
Right.
what situation. He's one of those
He
guys.
is the
And
be-
Bajent is now in that list.
Yes. The best way I describe Gardner Minshew is you no matter what, good or bad, you know that he would play in that game. He'll be like, all right, here's 4 touchdowns or here's 4 picks. Like, you don't walk away from a Gardner Minshew game being like, who played quarterback?
Yeah.
Like I likened it to like like that one guy at the wedding who's like, maybe making a joke to the mother of the bride, like tie over the head on the dance floor, like maybe a couple inappropriate moments, and you walk away and you're like,
Was that guy?
oh yeah, that guy was at the wedding.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we know he was there.
Nobody is apathetic to Gardner Minshew.
Right.
And when he throws picks, like he's nodding his head, he just knows. He takes
Yes.
accountability. Like that moment with his dad after that game, he came in for the Eagles, and they're having the moment
That
over and
stuff
over.
matters to me.
That shit
Yeah.
matters, bro.
Well,
I
it's
really-
memorable.
So you switching?
I love Gardner Minshew,
Switch it. Let's go switch it.
but I'm
guys.
tired of hating the Saints. They need to prove me right. I'm picking the
Okay.
Saints.
You're begging them
Gotta
to
have it.
evolve. Yes,
Yes.
begging them. Okay, Will, your gotta have a pick is the Vikings and the Packers. Who gotta have it?
Vikings. I mean, they both have to have it because I think the staff might be on the hot seat if they don't win this game. But I think where the Vikings started, they've been 3-1 in their last 4. I think they are that team compared to how they started the year. I think September can kind of fool you. we got to remember that you play 3 preseason games. Basically, every starter sits that third one. Like, teams are still trying to figure out their identity. I think the Steelers are one of those teams as well, to where they're figuring it out right now. And I think the Vikings, Kirk is showing he's number 2 in the league in yards, number 1 in touchdowns, and now he's doing it without Justin Jefferson. Kirk could easily be in the MVP conversation, but I like the Vikings. He's dialed in right now.
Dan?
Wrong. I don't.
Just across the board.
Yeah, wrong. Period. Wrong.
Like wrong. Period. Kyle.
This game is simple to me. Listen, I obviously want the Packers to lose. I hate the Packers. I hate Jordan Love. He stinks. But this is very simply the Vikings winning on Monday Night Football against the 49ers on national television, and everyone being like, holy shit, look at the Vikings. The Packers being really bad, losing game after game after game. You just got to go reverse.
No.
Yeah, it's not. There's no X's and O's. There's no X's and O's.
He's using his
This
gambler
is a
brain.
strictly gambling. Hold your nose. Like the Packers are garbage, and the Vikings look like they found something. Then you have to take the Packers. That's how it works. Everyone's gonna be like, you saw the Vikings. We're fucking bad.
Listen, the moment that they started putting,
like they're fucking bad.
the moment they started putting change on Kirk last year, they go on a run. Justin Jefferson right after the game puts a chain on. This is his first game. They're talking about we're playing Creed before the. They're talking about they're playing Creed before the game. I love it. I love what's in the air.
Kyle,
This is now.
Take us higher. Take us higher, Kyle.
He's falling for it.
So one thing I don't want is Green Bay to win any games because
Well, no,
I don't want Green Bay to lose. I want Green Bay to
couple
win,
games.
but I'm going to pick the Minnesota Vikings because of this. Osborne, Addison, Hawkinson. They had a guy not named Justin Jefferson out there dominating a defense in prime time. Kirk Cousins getting out of pressure, shaking guys off like he's shaking you off the hater right now.
That was sick at the end. That was sick at the end. When
You know what?
He would usually get sacked there, and he stepped up and threw a dart.
Maybe Justin Jefferson just becomes an OC or something. He's great on the sideline. Keep him over
the
there.
sideline.
Yes.
He still knows his role.
I got the
He's hurt.
Vikings,
Okay.
dude.
All right. I want to make this.
Packers suck.
I want to make exactly. They
really suck.
I'm on your side. You know I'm on your side.
You guys just
Said the reason.
You said it.
Don't want to get copyright trouble.
You
No,
said
don't
it.
get copyright trouble. I don't think that was 10 seconds.
The Packers suck. You said it. Both of you said it.
So that's why
This
you're
is
picking
so
them.
obvious. Yeah, I want to make this right now. I want to make this.
Listen,
when
I'm
Kyle
not
comes
saying
back
that
on
they suck.
next week for you and I, and when Kyle comes back on, this is a personal apology game. Ooh. I will apologize to you if I'm wrong, and I want an apology from both of you if I'm right.
I would be happy to, because you know I'm a Versace guy. You know I'm a
Personal
LaFleur guy.
apology.
You know I'm a Joe Barry guy.
I want
you
a
know
real
I'm
apology.
Gotti
Look
guy.
in the camera.
Right, not-
Those are all my guys out there.
Yeah.
I want them to win.
And not a text apology.
No,
you want it on
Look
camera,
at the camera
on this desk.
You'd be like, yeah, like
I will have
I'm
a-
dumb, you're smart, that whole thing.
I will have a well-written apology. I'll have a well-written apology.
Okay, I will too.
Getting all that stuff.
Okay. Personal apology game.
Personal apology.
Guy writes apologies, not
You guys made me. I might
Nuclear? No.
make it
Oh
a
my
nuclear missile whale play. Because they're just
Not
doing,
it.
Jerry, they're literally saying.
I know. You
Why?
did.
We're not saying they suck. We're just saying, like,
No, you did say they suck.
No, the Packers are
do
mid.
suck.
You said
I
the
would say
Packers
they're
suck.
mid.
They suck.
mid.
Big mid.
Don't be, yeah.
They suck. That's why.
I didn't say they suck. You said they suck.
This is how the NFL works.
I understand that.
Don't let the Packers
you don't.
lose, though, because they're going to get a higher pick.
I'm really putting myself in a hole
Yeah,
here
this
if
is-
the Packers just continue to suck.
This is
Pointing
but
hard.
Yeah, I'm pointing really hard.
No.
You and you.
personal apology game. When you make your nuclear, what is it? Nuclear whale missile.
Nuclear missile whale play.
When do you make those?
I usually decide around Saturday. I actually will not. I'll say this right now. I will not, because I could never make the Packers a nuclear missile whale play.
Okay.
It might be a Scud missile dolphin play,
Okay.
which is half of a nuclear
It's
missile
clearly
whale
whenever
play.
it feels like he's getting his back against the
Torpedo,
wall,
yeah.
like put into a
Torpedo
corner.
Tarpon. That you can play that too.
He says it happens on Saturday, so it's probably right around when he looks at his Saturday board and
Yes.
it's like, shit, I need
Yes.
to
And I
do
gotta
something.
press, yeah.
Yes. Okay, it's time for the rapid fire games of the week presented by Body Armor. It is spooky rapid fire. It's Halloween week. We've got the Body Armor in front of us, the official water of Barstool Sports. We've got Jerry, as always, being the water boy. Speaking
Water
of,
boy.
it is with Halloween. Like, how hard do you go for Halloween?
Hard. This week is where you start watching every Halloween movie in a row. We're hitting the haunted house on Friday.
God damn it, man.
Jerry is easily
Check his
frightened.
undies.
Jerry is easily frightened.
Yes. Well, do you know my thing, right?
Hate Michael Myers.
terrified.
The Michael Myers mask.
Still
is your
scared.
thing?
I saw the tweet
Still
and immediately texted Tom. I said, we got to get him.
Oh, my
that's
God.
great.
How's your heart rate right now?
Probably bad.
Get some water.
You know something else about Jerry? He doesn't like sand.
No.
Why is that?
Why?
I got a
I
phobia.
hate the beach.
He hates the feel of sand.
I
I
got a
love the beach. I hate the sand.
He told me
I hate the
I got a
sand at
phobia
night when
of
you're in
this
bed. You
sand.
think you got it all off you and
Yeah.
you feel it.
You have a
just feel it.
They should just turn the beach into a parking lot.
So you hate the feel of it. He said he has a phobia of
Yeah, no, he told me this last year, and I bought 50 pounds of sand and brought it to advisors.
But like a phobia, like you.
Yeah,
much sand.
just
Been that
dump
way
it
for a
everywhere.
long time.
I have weird phobias too. I understand that, but yes. So Halloween is. So you watch every spooky movie. I know that you and Taylor on Bustin' with the Boys. Like this is a big month for you.
Yeah, Taylor's really into like the gory, the horror stuff every night. I kind of need my breaks just because it does get a little. It gets a little dicey. I
ready
prefer
for
like I was watching some, I had Rue on. And it's like here's how I'm gonna hit my spook. It was Miss Rachel with her Halloween themed episode. So it's like okay,
Scary?
she
Miss
does
Rachel
some
does
spooky
some
stuff.
some
Yeah.
Halloween stuff.
So Rue goes around.
She
She'll
goes
say
goth
boo.
chick?
She'll try and say boo and everything else.
I had
Miss Rachel's a queen.
I had a great plan for Halloween this year, but it got axed. So I was gonna do the candy for the kids, and then I was gonna go buy a bunch of NFL futures, $10 futures, and let the parents take a future out of that.
That's great.
And you're like, oh shit, I got the Panthers. Fuck. My wife said that would be a weird move.
That's awesome.
I think that's awesome.
Well, she was like, we just moved in. Like,
Oh, well, that's
all the
true.
neighbors are like, you're just gonna be handing out gambling picks. You're right. Maybe next year, Nick. Next year.
But once
I
you
might
get, like
still-
once you get to know the neighbors a little bit more.
Yeah, because it might be. She's probably right on that. She probably reads it better. People are like, why the fuck did that guy just give me a slip of paper?
better tone in the block. You got a better pulse on the block right now.
Just feel it out a
You
little
guys
bit.
get dressed up? When you were
Oh, yeah.
playing, did you go into the locker room with an outfit on?
Yeah, our practice squad year, and I hated this, but our strength staff made us do a Halloween workout where we had to wear costumes and do a really hard fucking workout.
That's so mean.
Like
That is
we're doing,
so
you got to do 50 pull-ups. Like while I'm on the incline treadmill, we're a duo, and I got to run a sprint on the treadmill until you hit 50 pull-ups. So we're like, hey Kyle, like I
In
know
a
you're
ballet
big, I
dress.
know it's tough. Yeah,
In heels.
Yeah, I'm wearing a Michael Myers mask, just like sweating inside.
The trick or treating.
Halloween.
I mean, my son's not old enough to know trick or treating yet, but I am very excited to dress him up for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is just,
How old is he?
He's 8 months.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's the best. I'm very, very excited. I haven't dressed up since college. Now I feel like I have to dress up again.
And what's a sleeper about being a parent for Halloween is he's going to be 8 months, you're going to dress him up, he's going to be a little pissed off about it, and you're going to be like, okay, we got to go home. So you're going to get to go
And
home.
eat all your
Yeah.
candy.
Yeah, you're going to get to go home early.
And then he'll go to sleep right after dinner, and then I'll get to eat the candy and drink the wine. Okay, rapid fire games. We're going to start with the Eagles and the Commanders. The Eagles favored by 6.5. Will, you've been up and down with the Commanders this year. Where do we stand right now?
That's a squad, man. But I think that they're in trouble. Eagles are going to win this game, and I also think they cover. I think they're pissed off. But not only that, I do think they're playing really good football. As long as they don't turn the ball over, I don't know who beats them. Because they control the clock, they're great on the ground. Like Jalen's, they're all dialed right now. I don't know. The Chiefs don't beat them. Chiefs don't beat them.
He thinks the Chiefs stink.
Is this an
I don't
apology?
think the Chiefs stink. I said last week I was wrong.
Yeah, very
But
wrong.
you wanted them to stink.
Chiefs are really good.
I wanted the Chiefs to stink.
You wanted the
That's
Chiefs to
fair. I
stink.
wanted the Chiefs to stink.
Dan?
I'm going to go with the Eagles, but I'm worried. Okay, I'm going with the Eagles because of the Commanders' offensive line. Sam Howell's been sacked 40 times this year. He's on pace for 97. David Carr has the record for 76 sacks on a season. That's insane. I'm worried, though, because you said one thing that I think is actually like a concern for Eagles fans. Like, if Jalen Hurts doesn't turn over the ball, he's turned over the ball a lot. He has more turnovers this year than he had all of last year. And he said something in his press conference this week that makes me a little nervous. He has the knee brace. He was walking off a little bit gimpy, and he was like, I'm fine. In the press conference, they asked him about it, like, will it be an issue for the rest of the year? He said, I hope not. And I'm like, that's weird. I hope not. Like, either you're kind of healthy or you're not. Something's up with that knee. I just put a little pin in that. Something's up with that knee. And it makes him a little bit less of the weapon he is. And Jalen Hurts is a very good quarterback, don't get me wrong. But if he's a little hampered, it's not something he can like get over. Like, he needs to be able to use his legs. And he needs to be able to run around in the pocket.
Well, there's two things that go out of that game plan if Jalen Hurts doesn't have that knee proper. It's the tush push, which is damn near unstoppable by the Eagles. And people think it's illegal, but other teams have tried to replicate it. They can't. You know who has replicated it well?
Who?
The Bears.
Yeah, they have with Cole Kmet under center.
The Bears.
Yes, although we did get stopped in that one
But
game.
I'll say this. You mentioned Sam Howell being sacked an astronomical amount of times. He's going to shatter Carr's record, David, the older Carr. And I will say this. The Washington offensive line is top 5 in time to pressure the quarterback. Sam Howell is highest in sacks given up, which tells me that Sam Howell isn't seeing it quick enough.
Yeah.
Ball's not coming out quick enough. Same issues we have with Justin Fields, Jerry, in Chicago. You got the guy's great, but the ball's got to come out. Everybody loves Sam Howell when he throws it. But when he doesn't, he takes sacks. And I love Jalen Carter for the Eagles.
Yeah.
I had him as a defensive rookie of the year before the season even started, and he has been so great week in, week out. I think the move for Kevin Byard's going to be great. And you said it's going to be close. The first time these teams played, it came down to the wire.
Overtime.
That's why I think the Eagles got something to prove.
Both teams know this, but also if Jalen Hurts has to stay in the pocket, if that knee is dinged, just throw it to A.J. Brown.
Yeah. Over 100 yards in 5 straight
Behind that
games.
offensive line.
Throw it to A.J. Brown.
Quick question. You predicted Kevin Byard. Good call last week.
Yeah, Derek might be going now, too.
Yeah, he's going to get traded. Is Kevin Byard, what are the Eagles getting? Like, is he still –
They're getting
because he was obviously an all-world safety. Is he still – he's getting a little older?
Yeah, he's going to – look, every player gets on their back nine. I do think he's on his back nine, but the quality of player they're getting, he is a true, locker room leader guy. He's a guy that sometimes you don't want to hear saying certain things, and you're just like, all right, bro, let's go. But they're getting a high quality leader out of Kevin Byard.
And they need help in the secondary. That's their one weakness, right?
They asked him, they're like, you're a Philly guy, so did you watch the Eagles? He's like, yeah, Brian Dawkins is my favorite player. And they're like, here's your locker. It's Doc's old locker.
That's
sick.
That is very cool.
That's worth a couple points. Kelly Green jerseys worth 7 points last week. I told you that.
At least.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
They turned the ball over twice last week and still beat the Dolphins 31-17.
Easy.
They're
The
still.
Kelly Greens.
I feel you on the Jalen
Sean
Hurts thing.
Desai, the D coordinator, has been great.
Yes. Also a guy that the Bears let walk out the door.
Damn.
Talk about it.
Sad. I know that felt like a therapy thing. Like, damn, that's a
well,
deep
it's just
memory.
like you have these names that
Yes.
get said, and they're like, "This guy's doing great." It's like, wait,
Raheem
Sean
Mostert.
Desai? Oh yeah, he was the Bears defensive guy.
All right, Dan, Texans at Panthers, both teams coming off of a bye. Panthers are +3.
Okay, this game is easy for me, and it's one name. I think it's the right name, Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown is the new offensive coordinator for the Panthers. Frank Reich has given up play calling to Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown has been, he's a Sean McVay guy. He was in the Sean McVay tree. He also was a really good running backs coach. He coached for the Badgers in 2014 when Melvin Gordon had 2,500 yards. He coached for Georgia when they had Nick Chubb in 2015. I think this guy is going to make Bryce Young's life a lot easier, a lot more pre-snap motion, a lot more receivers open. I think the Panthers are live in this game. I think the Panthers might get their first win of the year. I think it's going to be that much of a difference of Frank Reich calling plays and now Thomas Brown calling plays.
Kyle, how do you feel about that?
I do love the guys they have in that building. I really like Bryce Young, and I know people have had a lot to say about the Panthers early on, but that's how it goes in this league. You got to figure out how to win. And one thing they did a few weeks ago is they made a point to say, we're going to try to simplify this offense.
Yep.
And not because Bryce Young is an idiot at all. I mean, he's a great guy. He's the guy that we wanted. But when you have two receiver sets, when you have extra guys in protection, it makes the life of a quarterback a lot easier. And one guy I trust is Josh McCown, who's in that building with Bryce Young every day. I know he's a great teacher. But also, I don't think the Panthers go winless this season. So they're going to have to get a win here eventually. If there is a time to get a win, it's off a bye week against the Texans.
Yeah.
Will?
Nothing easier to prepare for than when an offense simplifies. I think with DeMeco Ryans, he's such a defensive guy. I like the Texans. I like Stroud. I like the Texans. I like the Texans to
I'm
cover.
picking the Texans, but I'm saying if the Panthers are going to win, if the Panthers are going to win, this will be their opportunity.
I do feel that, but to your point on making it simple,
DeMeco's on it.
Studying that stuff is so much
But what
easier.
about Thomas Brown? That was they tried everything. So they did the Frank Reich, they did the simplification, they had a bye week. Now it's Thomas Brown's offense. I just think that a guy who has his resume and the people he's been around and the things he's done running the football, and then Sean McVay being his coach or his boss for a couple of years. Sean McVay is the best offensive coordinator not named Kyle Shanahan in the league, right?
Yeah, I agree.
He will get guys open. Like, there will be ways for Bryce Young to make plays in this game. When you watch the Panthers in the first 6 weeks, no one was open. No one was open at all. I think they're going to have a really good game plan, best effort.
This is perfect, just like the Lions a few weeks ago, where if that happens and the Panthers win, I'm sitting there being like, hey, Big Cat called that shit.
Called that shit. I called that shit. You might have to do another apology.
Right
I'm about
now,
to say,
I
and
do
maybe
feel-
another.
The Panthers. Listen, the Panthers are still a garbage team, so I'm not putting my line in the sand like I did with Packers.
It's still very funny to me how the Texans fell into the C.J. Stroud pick
I know.
and Bryce Young.
I know.
Like this all happened.
And C.J. Stroud.
And everybody's like, let's do it over.
Yeah.
Let's just run it back.
I know.
A mulligan. Let's take a mulligan.
He's been so good, C.J. Stroud.
Okay, Kyle, the Jets and the Giants.
Oh my gosh, Zach Wilson had the bye week and he brought his gal to Utah for some apple picking.
Oh.
So we were talking about bye weeks, and I think that's the best thing Zach Wilson can do. He's got a huge stretch of games coming up here, and I'm going to talk about the Giants in a minute. But I think that defense is awesome. We already know that. But I think Zach Wilson said something after the Cowboys game about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and it didn't really get noticed. He said, "I'm starting to see it." You know, this is after a loss.
Yeah.
And Will, you and I both know if a guy says, "I'm starting to see it," without any other explanation, watch out, because this guy's going to start figuring it out. This offense will start to roll. I do like the Jets. I think Tyrod Taylor's the smarter choice for the Giants,
Facts.
to be honest. I know that when you have a backup quarterback in,
He is.
the heightened sense of awareness, you have to elevate your game as one of the other 10 guys on the field. But Tyrod's just not affected by whatever's going on. If there's no protection, if there's nobody open, he finds a way to work through it and get the chains moving. I like Tyrod Taylor, but I do love the Jets in this one.
Yeah.
No, I think he's right. Like, usually when you have a quarterback and they're not playing well, there's not a lot of conversations with the quarterback or around the quarterback in the locker room. It's more of like if I'm sitting with Kyle and we're kind of like, man, we wish that this high-round pick would start performing. But when they do start playing well and then you hear something like that where he's seeing the field and everything else, there's like a chemistry that starts building behind him, whether it starts at practice and everything else to where guys are like rallying around, break the huddle down, you're a little bit louder for him. All of that stuff starts to fall into play, and the defense is nasty. I like the Jets.
Dan?
Williams bros.
Yeah.
Dude, hey, which one's the linebacker? Quincy?
Yeah.
He's a monster.
He's a freak show.
He's a monster. If it wasn't for Fred Warner, like he's a top 3 linebacker in the league. Roquan.
Got the green hair, too.
Yeah, dude, he is nice.
Very, very good. I'm going to take the Jets as well. They're getting healthy. Sauce Gardner back. I do think Tyrod Taylor's better than Daniel Jones. I do. I think that you saw it. Like, he throws the ball
Better
down the
chance
field.
to win or better?
I think right now better. Like,
What do you do if you're in the front office?
Yeah, what-
And if Tyrod wins this game, too.
you're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked.
I don't want to say what I want.
The Giants are so stupid. What?
We fucked up.
Yeah.
All right.
The Giants are so stupid. They could have franchise tagged Daniel Jones because what was Daniel Jones? He was like a guy that for the first 4 years of his career, everyone's like, oh, maybe there's a couple flashes here. We don't really know. Last year he has a great year. How do you not say to yourself, hey, is this an outlier? Like, we've seen the other 4 years. Maybe this is just like an anomaly, what he did. And instead of franchise tagging him and being like, let's double check to make sure he's good, they fucking give him the big contract.
He's not a low floor guy.
Right.
Like when you're drafting him, you're like, oh, this guy's got a very high floor. Well, it's like, fuck, we're in the basement now.
Yeah. So, yeah, Tyrod is the only thing that makes me nervous in this game, but I do have the Jets because they're defense.
Will, the Falcons and the Titans.
I like the Falcons. I think Titans, they're kind of, they're rebuilding. It's not their year. I like the Falcons. Arthur Smith, Vrabel. You got Will Levis versus Ritter. I even like the under. I think the under is like 37.
It's a rock fight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. But I like the Falcons. Titans, they can't protect their quarterback. Falcons are very good defensively on the front, pressuring the quarterback, knockdowns, everything else. I think the Falcons win.
Dan?
Is this not the perfect Vrabel game?
Did you see Vrabel, one of the pressers this week?
No.
I missed that.
We'll have to check out the clip, but you can tell my man is stressed right now. You can tell my man is stressed right now.
I think that probably was the only time
He
that
literally
question's
goes-
ever been asked.
he
Did
goes-
you see Vrabel's presser?
We were talking about it before the show.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Will.
It's all good.
Will's sitting at home.
So
and
what'd he do? What'd he do at the press conference?
He's sitting there and
Wait, hold on. Will's like that meme, like Drake when he's sitting in the Kentucky locker room. The bro thinks he's on the team. Will like gets all dressed up for Vrabel's pressers, puts on the TV. Like, all right, coach, tell us what you got.
Who's the guy in the background that keeps howling?
You can hear it through multiple doors.
Taking notes, like, all right, we got to protect the football. Okay.
Vrabel is somebody like the team goes as he goes. And you can tell the way he snapped back at the reporter being like, oh, why you got your hands like that? And then they're like, I'm asking a question. Yeah, fix your face. Like, you look ridiculous. But then you see in his head like, okay, this is not the route. I'm not in the locker room right now. But when he's stressed, he's not that much of a joy to be around. Mm-hmm. And I just think with everything they're going, they traded Byard, they're looking to trade Derek. Like, you can tell they're trying to figure it out. He's talking about, we're going to have a 2-quarterback offense. Like, I mean, a 2-quarterback offense just doesn't really, it doesn't work.
I got something on that, too, yeah.
So that's why I like the Falcons. I like the Falcons.
Kyle?
Well, first off, I think it's completely, I can swear on this thing.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
It's complete bullshit that they're even going to say we're going to have a 2-quarterback offense, because we saw the one guy. We saw the one guy.
Willis is not it.
He's not that good.
He's not that good.
He's not that good yet, and he could be good. He has all the tools physically. But Will Levis is a guy that I'm very curious about because we liked him coming out until he started putting mayonnaise in his coffee. And then
he said he's gotten 17% better accuracy-wise. That's what he said.
Is that real?
He said, yeah, he said it in the locker room. I loved it because I think
because of the mayonnaise?
What is
they
he
go,
using,
they
LiDAR
go,
scanning?
how much progress do you think you made since preseason? I think he said something. He did say my accuracy's gotten 17% better.
A numbers guy.
Yeah,
That's a numbers guy.
Maybe they do have that stat.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I really do want to see this Titans team with Will Levis have success because I like the moves they made bringing in DeAndre Hopkins, and he's had a few games where it's been like, oh, this guy can ball still. I think they need to get him the ball. They need to make it one of those games and force Desmond Ridder to throw the ball down the field. Because if Desmond Ridder throws the ball down the field, he's going to throw you a couple balls. I'm going to pick the Titans here, Will Levis.
Dan?
Yeah, Desmond Ridder, it was very funny to me that he threw 3 interceptions 2 weeks ago. It was clear Arthur Smith was like, we got to take care of the football. And he's like, all right, no interceptions. Then had 3 fumbles.
Yeah.
And it's
Hey,
like,
the one fumble right before he got in the end zone.
he's like, Desmond Ridder's thinking of a new way to turn over the ball next week.
That's all right. Find new mistakes and work on it.
Yeah, right. He fixed the interceptions. I guess I came in being like, I'm going to listen to Will, and if he tells me that it's the Titans, I'm going to go with the Titans. But he told me it's the Falcons, so I'll go with the Falcons.
There you go. Listening to the boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot of responsibility right there. But I think
That
it's a
is.
responsibility.
Yeah, no, that was a good way. That was me get
That's
out
a
of jail.
heart pick, honestly.
Well, it also was
it was
a get out of jail free card because I'm like, if the Falcons blow this game, like this fucking idiot.
Yeah, it's your fault. It'll be your fault. You'll get better next week.
Is Arthur Smith going to pay all that money back to fantasy owners, by the way?
Yeah, dude, that was funny. Did you see Arthur Smith's press conference?
He was.
I actually did.
Yeah, are you talking about where he's like, we can talk politics
Yeah,
and
he's
global
like,
warming?
what are you guys talking about? Like, we're not playing fantasy football.
I was like, yes, that's exactly
yes,
what we're doing.
yes.
The whole
The
country.
only reason I'm watching y'all.
Yeah.
Dan, the Patriots and the Dolphins. The Patriots get the big win over the Bills last week, and of course the Dolphins lose to the Eagles. Are you feeling a little bit better about the Patriots?
All right, so I don't think the Patriots are good. I think that was an indictment on the Bills having a lot of issues. Here's the only concern I have. The Dolphins are on fraud watch. They know it, okay? They know it because they have killed bad teams, and they've stepped up in class twice against the Eagles and against the Bills, and they got absolutely smothered. So they're knowing, like, hey, we're good, but how good are we? Because we haven't been able to beat these good teams. Next week, they play the Chiefs in Germany. I think this might be a little bit of a look-ahead spot. I think this also might be a spot like Tyreek Hill. There was that weird thing where Tua was like, hopefully you get him back at some point. He might be injured, he might not. I think the Dolphins are going to play this a little close to the vest. Like, let's get a win, but we don't have to go full Dolphins here. And I think it's going to be one of those tight games that they eke out, but I think they're ready for the Chiefs, and they're looking ahead to the Chiefs.
Will?
It's a fair point. This is like an I don't know, because the way the Patriots played last week is like, son of a bitch. Like, Mac has a good game. Dave's on Twitter talking about we're back in the Super Bowl running, and he is the guy.
Mac's the real deal.
Mac's the
he
real
flipped
deal.
so fast.
Yeah,
so fast.
Well, he was a Pro Bowler.
I can relate.
Yeah,
to that.
yeah.
Mac was a Pro Bowler.
I think the question mark is Tyreek Hill because if they don't have him, he is their best player. If he's not playing, I like the Patriots to cover. But if not, I think the Dolphins bounce back this week and get ready to go out to Germany because they realize that they are kind of in a spot like, hey, what kind of team are we going to be? I like Fangio on defense. Obviously, McDaniel, he's a genius. This could be a perfect even look ahead to where, say the Patriots lose this week, they end up beating they end up beating Washington next week and look good again. So I think the Patriots lose. I like the Dolphins.
Okay.
If New England's going to win this football game, and I think they do have a chance to do so, they're going to have to get after Tua. Tua, 7 sacks and 2 losses, and when he's not sacked, they win the game a lot. The offense understands they have to be patient versus New England. The teams that have had success against Miami, they've said, okay, we know you can run by us, so we're going to line up at the sticks and keep our back against the proverbial wall.
Yep.
Throw it underneath. Take what we can give you. Take what you're given. It's the same thing that teams did to Mahomes a few years ago. And Andy Reid's smart enough to adjust and say, okay, we have a new offense now.
Yeah.
And that's what Mike McDaniel's going to have to do with this offense for Tua and these receivers to have success. And if Tyreek's not out there, it's going to be even tougher sledding. I mean, what the hell's going on there? I don't know.
It was the weirdest thing ever. He's like, hopefully we get him back soon. Like, wait, what?
Hopefully.
He's an alien.
Right.
The next step in the progression of Tua and this Miami Dolphins offense is being patient, running the football when they can, and taking what's given to them with checkdowns and working the ball down the field. Boom, 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 boom. Because if they're going to try to go down the field, there will be people waiting there with their hands open.
That's smart, yeah.
Do you think they adjust? It sounds like it's a question.
You know what? I'm taking the Patriots in Miami.
I just think the Dolphins.
That's all I'm saying, in Miami?
Yeah,
Another hard pick.
I know.
I know.
But here's the thing.
Heart and gut pick.
The Dolphins have a bunch of guys who are going to come back soon. Xavier Howard, Jalen Ramsey. And I think some of them might be almost ready to come back. And it
But
feels
they're not
like
going to use them now.
It feels like they're holding them back for this Chiefs game. And it feels like the Chiefs game is going to be like the all-in, we got to win one of these games. So, I just think it's going to – they're like, let's get out with a win. Let's not show too much. The next week is the big week.
But think about the Patriots. They played well just last week. And other than that, that's
No, they stink. They're bad. They're bad. Mac Jones bad, but maybe confidence. Maybe the confidence.
That's the one.
You saw him dancing like he won the Super Bowl? It's crazy.
He was very happy. All right, Kyle, the Browns and the Seahawks.
Browns and the Seahawks. You know what? This is going to be a Geno Smith special. You know what? This is going to be a Geno Smith special. And I give tremendous credit to the Seahawks. They went and got Jackson Smith and Jigba to go along with their 2 other stud receivers. People were like, why isn't he getting the fucking ball early in the season? I'm like, well, have you looked at the depth chart in Seattle? They have a bunch of guys who want the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, Witherspoon, the DB, has been great.
So good.
I mean, like, he's already looking like a generational cornerback.
Yep.
I'm like, these are the moves that Seattle's had to make to retool. It was a Legion of Boom, and then it was the Legion of Whom. Now they're trying to figure out the young core of this football team is there at the receiver position. I like Geno Smith a lot. I like Geno in this game. I don't think PJ can go on the road and get a dub.
Yep.
Seattle's a tough spot to play.
I'm high on the Seahawks. I am very high on the Seahawks. I actually think I've been thinking about doing this. You know what? I'll say it right now. I have done it by the time you're watching this. I think I'm going to bet the Seahawks plus 400 to win the NFC West. I think the Seahawks are good, and they have both their games against the 49ers coming up. I think the Seahawks are very good. They play, like, if Geno can just clean it up. And Geno's knee, I don't know, that Giants thing, he's looked a little weird since then. I think the Seahawks are a very good team. They have a very good defense, and they have a shitload of weapons. Jake Bobo, our guy. Jake Bobo.
What a catch, last
What a catch.
Insane.
Bobo. I'm taking the Seahawks in this game. The Browns, PJ Walker, nice backup.
Nice sound effect.
Tough fucking.
PJ Walker's not bad.
well-known Bear.
Yeah, well-known Bear.
He's really not bad.
PJ Walker's not going to Seattle winning that game.
No, that's fair, but I feel like it can be
And then
close
and
to
the,
it, where it's kinda
the
got
Browns
me.
have big problems. This
is, all right.
This guy.
We need an alert.
Okay.
All right,
Tom,
I'm not going to say it. That's fine.
Tom, we just need an alert anytime that Jerry starts talking about any NFC North teams or AFC North teams, just being like, this is a very biased take. Please understand that
disclaimer.
Jerry's speaking from a Steelers heart right now.
Yeah.
I'm just stating facts. I don't think Deshaun Watson wants to play football anymore.
That might be a fact.
Yeah, no,
That's not a
that
biased
could be
take.
true. But
That's
I'm saying,
such a
like,
weird-
their
such a
team,
weird
So
situation.
weird.
Yeah.
their
Very
team
bizarre.
is good. It's like, listen, Nick Chubb is head and shoulders above everybody else on that roster, but they seem to play well with any back because of the name Coach Callahan, who kind of operates that running game. And them defensively, they're tough, man. Miles can get after it. I do think Seattle wins the game. I just don't know if
You
it's by
can't
a
block
field
Myles
goal or
Garrett.
not.
No.
You know
It's
you
like,
can't.
It's like there have been great players. When I was young in the league, it was JJ, and it was like guys like that. You can't block him. But this guy, you cannot block Myles Garrett.
Have they ever? Why doesn't an offensive coordinator do that? Where like Myles Garrett, he's lined up on the left side, like just when you snap the ball, just starts sprinting to the right.
Because that's what Myles is doing on defense now. Myles has the freedom to move around.
Yeah, so then he's on the right side, just starts
And
sprinting
then you
to the left.
audible it.
Troy Polamalu
Like the
on
first
the
3
D-line.
seconds of the play
That's what
should
he
just
does.
be running
Yeah.
away from Myles Garrett. You have a head start.
I'm so
Take
glad I
a
don't have
deep
to block
shotgun
him.
pass. Yeah.
He is a
Snap.
freak of nature.
I'm gonna go Browns.
Oh,
Okay.
Browns.
Did I just
I'll
do
get
that to
spicy.
you?
Yeah, I'll get spicy. I'm gonna go
The
Browns.
Myles
He won
Garrett.
the game for him last week.
Yeah.
Myles
Yeah.
Garrett did. Blocked field goal, had like 9 sacks.
And you know what it's like when you have
Go
a
next.
quality O-line coach. Like, Callahan's the real deal. Like,
That's
he's
a
got
culture
those guys
setter.
duo, gap, scheme.
Jerry's
like,
telling me to hurry it up.
Yeah, cool.
He doesn't
Yeah,
like.
he doesn't like
Go
the
next
Browns.
pick, next segment. Come on.
And I like PJ Walker.
Who's
Jerry-
tougher to block, Myles Garrett or T.J. Watt?
I don't know. I've never blocked him. Either of them. Never.
If you
liked
had to
them.
pick, though, who?
Like if you were picking you want one guy.
Which guy would I rather match up in a Super Bowl? I'd rather match up with TJ.
Wow, interesting.
Because I truly think that Myles Garrett's like bigger and stronger.
No, he's definitely bigger, definitely
TJ is
stronger.
better and nastier and more athletic, but
Yeah.
Myles is like, oh, you want to turn it into a macho game? Okay.
Yeah.
That's not what I want to
No.
He doesn't got that macho game.
The bully mentality.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes.
Remember that.
Yeah, he's gonna keep receipts here.
Hey, remember.
Both those guys fight for defensive player of the year.
Yes, I think it's
really are.
it's the race. It's gonna
We're
be Myles
lucky to
Garrett.
watch both of them every week.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
There you go. That's
I
a
was
good way to
T.J.
keep
Watt
coming.
fan before you. Remember that.
True.
He was like, whatever, I don't care. Okay, well,
I just tell Jerry that every time. I'm like, I've liked T.J. Watt more than you.
he doesn't even try to argue. He's like, all right, whatever, I don't care.
You can't. You,
He's
got the head
just a
start.
beaten man. Okay, well, the Chiefs at the Broncos.
Chiefs. Love the Chiefs. Love what is happening in Kansas City right now. I'm a fan of the relationship that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift have going on. I was completely wrong about the first 5 games. The Chiefs look good. Chiefs.
Kyle.
And also, shout out again, pardon my take, with your interview with Dan Orlovsky, that clip about how Travis sees the field and everything else. Like, they just know how to win. They know how to score.
He
They know how to
doesn't run
win.
routes.
Yeah.
Dan Orlovsky said he doesn't run
And
routes.
he, like, knowing that a quarterback and Travis Kelce, like, arguably the best duo of all time, like, out there operating like that, like, that really is true.
Kyle.
What do you have, 179 yards last week?
And he had, there was an incompletion in the fourth quarter. Before that, the Mahomes and Kelsey had 29 straight passes that were completions.
Wow.
That's insane.
It's incredible.
That's how easy it is. 29? That's fucking crazy.
That's almost more impressive than like a perfect game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry and I could play just playing catch and we wouldn't do 29 in a row.
I think this matchup really comes down to this. It's an opportunity for Denver to showcase their trade possibilities. They want all their guys to go out there and ball out. They're going to put them in positions to make plays.
They've probably been trying to, though.
Guys like
up
Justin.
until this point.
Well, I think Sean Payton has been doing the opposite of that, honestly. I think Sean Payton's been acting pissed off and acting frustrated, but he's like, I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, he wants
You don't say things on TV in the studio like he did last year, say things about the former coach, and then just go out there and get your ass kicked all year like this.
Yeah.
There's got to be a method to the madness. I'm picking the Chiefs, obviously. I love the Chiefs. More things change, more they stay the same. Eagles, Chiefs. It looks like there's a collision course here in the Super Bowl again.
Dan.
All right.
So
I got-
you taking
Kansas
the
City.
points? Okay, Kansas City.
I got a.
Doesn't even matter what the points are.
I got a
The Broncos.
Don't do that. Hey, he said doesn't matter
What
what,
do you
the
want
points
to make
are.
the alternate?
There you go.
What does that mean?
Like, do you want to take the Chiefs? You want to give me 14 and a half?
So it's 7.5 right now. So you can,
Chiefs cover.
You want to go 11 and a half?
Smarter than you.
Chiefs cover.
yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yes.
He's not
Usually
gonna
they,
fall
usually they haggle.
In my
He's giving me
defense,
3 points at certain points where I'm like, how about 14 and a half? He's like, okay.
in my defense,
I think he went up to
you kind
15
of
and a
fell
half.
asleep at the wheel on the op to jump
Yeah,
in
no,
there.
that's true. That's
you
true.
were on me.
I was
like, you were
looking
operating
up
at
a
different
stat.
level.
I was looking up a stat that I wanted to
You
say.
guys are trying to bully a rookie.
Yeah, I was.
Just he's usually like, if I have a moment like that,
Yeah.
boom, he's on me.
Oh,
It's
we're
over.
gonna bully you later.
But
You ever
so-
heard of the human loofah, Northwestern? Jerry's gonna.
I brought my mask.
Jerry's
Sign me
gonna
up.
get you.
Put you in the dark
I took 3 visits there. It was great.
Okay, Dan, what was the stat you looked
Okay,
up?
my stat that's insane. So Patrick Mahomes, 2 stats. 1, 29-3 against the AFC West. Insane. That's just mind-boggling. He's literally never lost to the Denver Broncos. The last time the Broncos beat the Chiefs, Peyton Manning was the quarterback for the Broncos. That's how long it's been. He's been retired. He's in the Hall of Fame. He went in the Hall of Fame, 3 years ago?
He was in a scuba suit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, he was. The other crazy stat, Patrick Mahomes has lost 17 games in his career in the regular season, total. Russell Wilson has lost 16 games in his career with the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
That's tough. Rudy's a Broncos fan. His head just went down. That's pretty tough.
That's tough to hear.
We just need him to cover.
Let's hide.
So
They won't.
So when the Chiefs win this game, Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson.
Let's hide.
Bronco country, let's
Russell
hide.
Wilson will have
Chris,
this.
my brother came up with that.
Russell Wilson will have the same amount of losses with just the Broncos in a year and a half that Patrick Mahomes has in his career
That's
in the regular
tough.
season.
I love all these stats.
That's crazy.
Hey, at least there's sunshine at a record
Chiefs.
pace in Denver.
Yes. Oh no, actually, this might be a snow game. I had that written
But it's
down.
going to be sunny, though.
Yeah, it is always sunny there. The sunshine
Sunny
state,
snow
right?
game.
So you get to say, hey, the sun's going to
lovely.
sun rise tomorrow.
Sun will come up.
Yeah,
It'll
sun
be
will
cold.
come up.
Snow
Yeah.
game, 30% chance snow game.
Okay.
Not on Sunday. Fuck. 0% chance snow game. Cancel the snow game.
When is a 30% chance?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Might be snow
people
on the
in
ground.
Denver,
But not if it's
Yeah,
sunny.
Snow might be there, yeah.
residual.
Yeah, it'll melt. Okay, Dan, the Ravens at the Cardinals.
Ravens are going to win this game easy. The Cardinals, the Ravens are really, really good. They are my second best team in the AFC right now. That's not because I have a future on them before the season. No big deal, 18-1. But the Cardinals, we are living off the Cardinals. September, they beat the Cowboys. They covered a few games. The Cardinals have gone back to being the worst team or one of the worst teams in the NFL. They've not covered 4 straight. They're a mess. Josh Dobbs is praying Kyler Murray gets back as soon as possible. It is turned into a pumpkin. So give me the Ravens.
Will?
Ravens. I would like to point out, too, I was last week I was questioning BC on the Ravens being Super Bowl contenders and the way they poured it on the Lions. The Lions, like I called it, trap game. Dan, BC was right about that. They're playing at a level like they look for real. I think it's a little spooky for the Steelers that they're playing so well.
Lamar already lost this game.
No
that
doubt.
That couldn't have worked out better when Jerry said Lamar's the most overrated quarterback in the NFL, and then he had like 400 yards.
I saw that, Jerry.
3 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
Like,
He's keeping receipts too,
was-
Jerry.
they're starting to figure it out. Instead that RPO shit where they're able to pull 2 linemen,
The first
you
half,
do a read and
no
then start to
linebacker.
run.
Nobody knew where
Jerry
to go.
was
You're
so
leaving
mad.
because you need an extra guy. You need an extra guy from the slot to be the cutback player, and then you're reading to see if you can.
Yeah.
Those poor
dish it over
gritty
the middle.
linebackers in Detroit
Oh,
last
bro,
week.
it's a nightmare out
Where's
there.
the ball?
Jerry was screaming at the line. He's like, they can't cover shit. It was that one touchdown play where Lamar literally had 10 seconds. And I was like, Jerry, there's not a cornerback, dead or alive, who can cover a wide
There's
receiver
not.
for 10 seconds.
There's not.
He's just, he's wrong.
And when you're playing those head games,
Okay.
you know,
was this.
when the defense, you're playing
My
those
point was
head
this.
games. My fault. Go ahead.
Lamar Jack, I never said he was a bad quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback.
You said,
Whoa, you said some
you
shit.
definitely said he's a bad quarterback.
He's very, very, very overrated. He won't do anything when it comes to
You
playoff
said
time.
he sucked.
you said
might
he was
have
a
said he
good
sucked.
runner.
You might even said peanuts at one
Listen,
point.
Jerry,
he's
this
not going
is
to do anything in the playoffs.
You know what
It's very
this is,
simple.
Jerry? This is an old take. He was overrated at a certain point in his career. Now I think people kind of bashed him.
No,
can't win.
people are
like
back.
you.
People are back to like.
No.
People
He-
forget.
Yeah,
Put it like
people
this,
do
put it like
forget.
this. He's not like a Deshaun Watson questioning whether he wants to play football. He's trying, like, he's playing up.
No, yes, of course, I agree
Remember
with
Big
that.
Trust? They're doing it again, bro.
Big trust.
Zay Flowers is for real. I'll give him that.
Oh, that was nice.
But now there's no excuses now, right? Now he has all these weapons, right? So now there's 0 excuses. I hope they get Derrick Henry, right? Because guess what? They get Derrick Henry and they lose in the playoffs. Wow, my take was spot on.
I'm also going with the Ravens
Okay.
in Arizona, and it's interesting to see the Kyler Murray thing because as this season goes, it'll be a key indicator as to who gets the top pick sweepstakes.
Yep.
You know, like everybody's like, just keep Kyler on the sideline, all right?
Yeah, I was right about that too.
Mm-hmm.
You guys argued with me about Josh Dobbs. He wants Kyler back.
Oh, yeah.
He's.
I don't think I was disagreed. Oh, BC. All the times where I've been wrong and I've been like, hey, look, I'll even go back and be like, I was wrong.
Let's say it was
Okay,
Taylor.
okay.
Taylor
Yeah,
was
he's
wrong.
not here to
Taylor was
defend himself. He only won 2 games last week
Yeah,
anyway.
he won 2 games.
Okay.
That's
He
hard
was
to
wrong
do.
about
Yes.
that.
That's hard to do.
Yes.
2 games.
Monday Night Football, Kyle, the Raiders at the Lions. The Lions coming off of that loss to the Ravens, 38-6. Do we see them bounce back?
Look, I mean, Detroit at home, Jared Goff in the Dome. It's going to be an electric offensive showing for sure. I think that Gibbs finds a way to get more involved. Obviously, the entire team didn't show up last week against the Ravens, and the better football team dominated, the better quarterback, all that. But they're in the Dome this week, and I'm going to be picking the Detroit Lions on an international scale. Like, everybody's going to be watching this thing. They got embarrassed last week. Dan Campbell's got those guys ready.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm going with the Lions as well. Josh McDaniels is a fucking idiot.
Big. Big head.
He said that with such passion, such hatred.
I mean, he's in the last year, less than a year, he's lost to Jeff Saturday, who's a high school football coach. He lost to Baker Mayfield when he got traded to the Rams like 2 days before kickoff. And then he lost to Tyson Bagent, who was an undrafted Division II quarterback.
Goat in the making, though.
The guy stinks at coaching, and that's his job.
It's tough.
He gets paid to do it.
Look,
He gets paid a lot of money.
Sadly, I agree. I do think the Lions cover. I think they bounce back in a big way after laying an egg in Baltimore. Yeah, I mean, last 10 games, 9 of them, they haven't scored over 20 points. Like, I do think it's going to be, they're going to put up 30-plus on them, and I'm going with the Lions.
30-burg.
I think so, don't
That's
you?
a big numby. I like it.
Don't you think
That's
so?
why I use the word explosive, offensive
Yeah,
showing.
that's why, yeah, I know.
I could have just said 30.
That right there, I was like, I looked back, I was like, yeah, they're going 30.
And to your point, I think that might have been the moment that the Todd Monken offense clicked, because you saw the Ravens in the beginning of the year. They were able to move the ball, but they weren't able to get touchdowns, settling for field goals, making some mistakes. Last week was like, oh, this is what the offense can do?
Yeah.
And it might be, this might be the launching pad for them where they're like, now we understand it, now we're ready to go.
Yeah, I agree.
3 bad opinions. So your bad opinion last week came true. We talked about it earlier, the trade with the Titans and the Eagles. That happened. So, Dan, your bad opinion?
Yeah, well, I actually already said my bad opinion, but I'll say it again, and you guys can comment on it. Seahawks plus 400 to win the NFC West.
That's a yearly opinion.
I know, fuck, you're right.
Opinion.
Okay. All right, go to Kyle. Go to Kyle.
I do
Kyle
think it's a
down.
bad one.
Vikings should trade Justin Jefferson.
Oh, that's a really bad opinion.
Kyle, I have to tell you, we've been doing this now for 8 weeks. I've not seen him react this way.
He crushed that assignment. Yeah,
That's
the worst.
Did you guys watch the game?
We got to change it to ridiculous.
Justin Jefferson was in a beanie, and the freaking Vikings looked like world beaters.
Yeah, but Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the league.
Okay.
No. The best receiver in the league is Addison. He's in purple as well.
No.
Okay.
And the most open receiver is Osborne.
You don't believe that?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try to help Kyle out because this is a trust tree segment where we can say our bad opinions and not be shamed for it. Think about how many picks you could get.
Dude, I'm just saying.
You get a lot.
You ever played Madden? Trade your best player? 3 first.
Yeah. I would do, if I was a GM, I would just like, anytime I had a good player, I'd be like, see ya, picks.
That's my Madden strategy.
I have to be honest.
Man, you can steal him in Madden.
Yeah. Of all the bad opinions we've had from the guests in the show, that one was by far the most reacted.
He crushed that.
I mean, no, and you jumped in too. You didn't even wait for me to ask. You were like, no, fuck this. I got this bad opinion.
I'm a fan of the show.
I know. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, you crushed that assignment. Do you even have one to top that? Or
I'll say the Bears beat the Chargers and Staley and staff. Staley gets fired.
Ooh.
Okay. I do have a question.
Yeah.
That's not out of
Justin
question,
Herbert
right?
to have the right leadership. I want Justin Herbert to be the guy that we all want Justin Herbert.
And yeah, exactly. And I think he needs a new staff to do that because he is a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He's got an outside linebacker coach right now.
Mm-hmm. Kyle, I've got a question for you. We talk about this a lot on our college football show because obviously Dave went to Michigan, but is Jim Harbaugh going to be the head coach of the Chicago Bears?
It would be awesome.
Actually, we have to so I've mapped out an entire plan. Step 1 is going very well. Michigan, probably lifetime ban from college football.
Mm-hmm.
Death penalty.
We actually need the Chargers to win some games.
Okay.
Because I actually think that might be who he's deciding between. Bears and Chargers. Played for the Chargers. Justin Herbert's already there. Don't have to go to the draft. All that stuff. So I'm now in a spot.
You like your Bears winning.
Yeah, I think that this could be a game where I look back and I'm like, fuck, why'd we win that game?
Do you think that's a personality pairing, though, in L.A. with Justin and Coach Harbaugh?
I think Harbaugh can coach anyone.
Okay. I'm just curious. I never met him. I never met the guy.
No.
Dude, he's fiery. You like him. He literally, you'll be talking to him.
I want to play for
He truly doesn't care what's being talked about because he's just thinking ball the whole time.
And he is literally like the perfect antidote for everything. The Chargers are a joke of an organization. They have all this talent. They fuck up left and right. Jim Harbaugh cleans that whole thing up. So I don't.
You don't think he'd rather choose like the Windy City, get a gritty team not far from Michigan?
I don't know, man. He played for the Chargers as well.
But Dan, he is a pardon my take guy. When I met him at a golf tournament a few years ago, he said, "Tell those pardon my take guys." I said, "Hello."
I'm gonna wait. Listen, I love him. He and I text every now and then. I'm waiting for the right time to text him, being like, "Hey, dude, all right. I said this to you. I'll say it out loud right now for the people. I am willing to offer Jim Harbaugh full immunity if he coaches the Bears. And what I mean by that, I got a decent-sized platform, decent-sized podcast, do this show, do a lot of NFL shows. If Jim Harbaugh becomes the coach of Chicago Bears, I will never say a single bad word about him ever.
Wow.
Full immunity.
I feel like I have immunity.
We
from
could
you.
go 0 yeah, you have immunity.
Wait,
for
forever?
Sure.
Forever?
They go 0-17 and be like, got the boys going the right direction. You're half immunity.
Yeah, I'm half.
You're working on it.
They could go 0-17. I'd be like, Jim Harbaugh is turning the culture around.
And that's
this is working. I will give full immunity.
For a lifetime.
For a lifetime.
Wow.
As long as he's a coach of the Bears.
Yes.
No, actually, I won't even say if he leaves the Bears and he sucks with the Bears. I'd be like, I thought he was great.
What if he becomes the head coach of the Packers and they're doing, you know?
Oh, no, I'm going to I might try to fight. Dead. I'll get my ass kicked by him, but I'll try to fight.
I'm coming. He's got his khakis on.
Yeah.
He's always ready to
drinking
fight.
milk.
Like,
Drinking
we brought
milk,
up the
too.
Bus and Bowl trophy, just like
Yeah.
seeing
I drink
Phil,
whole milk,
like
Jim.
buy into the fun. Yeah.
Dude, we asked him.
And he starts beating his chest talking about competition, the competition. We're like, hell yeah, dude, go to the Bus and Bowl.
Jim Harbaugh's in his like mid-50s, and we asked him once, we're like, when was the last time you were in a fist fight? Like expecting him to fully be like, you know, oh, I was in college. He was like, I was about like 6 years ago. And I was like, what?
You were over 40?
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Look at whoever it is. I mean, there's so many decisions to be made in Chicago.
Yes.
The quarterback, the draft, whoever it is, please just pair it up with what you think your future is at quarterback.
Yes.
Don't bring in somebody that you think's the best coach without weighing.
Well,
The Bears do the thing that all dysfunctional organizations do. They get all their timelines wrong, where it's like, GM drafts quarterback, then gets fired, then new coach comes, not his guy. Like, and it just, we're always chasing it. John Fox didn't know that we were drafting Mitch. Then they fire John Fox. Then they bring in Nagy. Nagy doesn't want me. Like, it's just so stupid how they do it.
Well, Lincoln Riley knows who his quarterback is.
I do not want Lincoln Riley.
Caleb
Riley
Williams.
stinks.
I'm just
That
saying,
guy's-
Caleb
What's up
Williams.
with his defense?
Yeah.
Well, they're horrible.
What's up with that
but
defense, bro?
There is the worst, but there are the rumors.
You're an NFL style.
It would be
Cliff Kingsbury?
Yeah.
a
Would you not
lot
like
of money for Lincoln Riley, Caleb Williams, and whoever else they deem acceptable to bring to Chicago. That would be a boatload of Kevin Warren. and the Bears.
I don't want.
He doesn't want it. I had to
Yeah, I'm
bring
not
it
sold
up
on it.
No, I don't like Lincoln Riley. I want man football. I want to play man football.
Dan Lanning?
Dan Lanning does play
Dan
man
Lanning's
football, but
going
I
to
want
Texas A&M.
I want Jim
Don't take it
Harbaugh
from me.
playing man football. I want to stuff everyone in a locker and just fucking run the ball down everyone's throats.
And play at Soldier or the new field?
We could play at the new field, but man football.
New leaf.
Man football.
But you still want a quarterback high.
I don't even think we need a quarterback. Just play man football.
I like that.
I like it.
Just 11 position
Yes.
players.
Just hope Tyson continues to be the guy.
It just doesn't
Tony
matter.
Romo.
Run it down their
Cats
throat.
have done it.
It doesn't matter. Okay, it's time for the Survivor
Tony
Pool
Romo.
picks. And we have an interesting situation with our Survivor Pool picks because we restarted last week because everybody lost. Now,
Not
Jerry.
me. Everyone
Yeah.
lost last week, yeah.
No, but Jerry, I'm saying we started over. So Jerry got a lot of shit on the show because he picked not only one bad pick according to you guys, he picked two, and they both won. Dan, you also won.
I did.
Will lost, and the guest chair lost, and I believe that we said whoever loses first owes the
$1,000
winners
bucks.
$1,000. Jerry now has two picks, and Jerry has an idea of how we can spice this segment up a little bit.
I want to sell my pick
Okay, to Will?
to Kyle.
Why?
What do you mean? The guest.
I'm on the show.
He's the guest.
I first have to understand
But
what
someone
we're
else
doing
is
here.
gonna.
Yes.
Someone else is gonna. Someone
Well, I'll
else.
sell a pick to Will then.
Yeah, sell your pick to Will.
So
So, but he
you
has to
technically
give me
owe Jerry
$1,000
$1,000 because
Great.
Taylor.
Somebody's got to give me $1,000. It's all right.
Because
I gotta give-
Taylor
I'm
picked
still in
incorrectly.
it. No one's giving you $1,000.
I got some Bitcoin for you.
Jerry, I won as well. It's a survivor
You
league.
got Coinbase?
What do you mean?
I'm still alive.
Yeah, you're out of the question. No, I need the 1,000. Is what
No,
I need.
but you haven't won anything yet.
I won last week.
It's a survivor league. You and I are still alive.
So we're just meeting you heads up.
Yes.
When do
I
I
knew
get
it.
my money?
You might not, because I
He's gotta
might beat
lose.
you.
But
You
what
have
he's
to
saying
lose.
is he can sell his pick to either get Will back in the game or the guest chair back in the game.
Exactly.
Because he had two last week.
But you realize I'm still alive.
So now it's just heads up.
Yeah.
Unless you sell your pick.
No selling picks.
No, I can't
Heads
because
up.
then I'm out. Then I don't get nothing.
back in.
No, you can do a theoretical.
Give me the
pick.
rundown here on this.
You can pick whatever because Will and the
You're
guest
out,
chair
he's
are
out.
out. It's me and Jerry heads up.
All right.
Yeah, and you don't owe anybody any money
So
because
wait,
Dan's
I
still
can't
in.
buy one of his picks
No.
and just get back in it?
Fine, you can. That's $1,000 though. That's $2,000 now.
So now he has to give me 2,000?
No, you know what you
No, you're right. You're right.
All right, then I'm picking. Then it's just heads up. It's heads up.
Okay, then it's just
That's
heads
it.
up.
You're done.
So-
Everybody's out. Me and you.
Let's
So
go.
it's a 1v1.
So if you lose, let's say you lose this week.
Yeah, you get $3,000.
3,000.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Okay, would you like to pick first, or you
No,
want Dan to pick?
Dan
Okay,
pick
so
first.
Dan,
I
you
won
pick
2-0.
first.
All right. I'm going
Look
to
at
pick.
the board.
I'm going to pick.
So Dan, you took the Seahawks last week.
Took the Seahawks last week. I'm going to take.
This has now become so
I'll
much
take
more
the
personal.
Detroit Lions.
Okay, so Dan is
So
taking
this
the
is like a
Lions.
lock pick.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
it's straight up.
line, baby.
So they just have to win Survivor League. So you get to pick. You have to pick a team every week, but you can't pick the same team twice in a
Cincinnati.
season. Okay, that'd be his
Okay.
hypothetical.
Okay, his hypothetical.
Yeah, you should give a
Practicing,
hypothetical
KC.
For
too.
next time you're here, yes, he's practicing. That's good. Okay,
Give a
Will.
hypothetical.
Right, we're good.
Because
by
if
the
this
time-
one ends, we'll do it again.
Right, so by the time you're back, you might actually
you might
be
get
making
a
a
real
real
pick.
pick.
I'll go Ravens.
Okay. All right, Jerry. $3,000 on the line.
Put it on your boys.
Yeah, you won't.
No balls.
So Tom.
I mean, he took the
Home
Giants and the
dog.
Broncos last week, and everybody made fun of him, and he got both right. So
He did.
I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Okay.
Can we do a pick that's playing tonight or no?
No.
no,
Can't, right? Think that.
this show doesn't air
Yeah,
today.
good point. All right, I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Okay. You're a big Lamar guy.
So you do realize
Love Lamar.
Big trust.
if
Big trust.
so if you lose, you do also have to pay Dan $1,000.
Unfortunately, yeah.
All right,
Who'd you pick?
I picked the.
the Lions.
Against the Raiders?
Yeah.
Looked bad last week, so I'll say.
This has become personal. But Kyle, maybe the next time that you're here, it won't be as personal between these two, and you can get in the
love
mix.
this.
Yes.
I love this.
Yeah, this Taylor kind of fucked it up for you by picking. I don't even know who he picked last week.
Shout out to Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh, he picked the 49ers. That wasn't a bad pick. I mean, they
Well,
lost.
it was. They lost.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Anything else, guys?
No, great show.
Great
You
show.
crushed it.
Great
Yes.
show.
Thanks for having me.
Everybody clap for Kyle. Yay.
Be back 3 more times.
3 more times. You guys enjoy your NFL weekend. We'll see you next week.